Hey everyone, welcome to InterviewPro. In this video, let's learn a technique to pass data from parent to child component. In the last few videos, we were using component called videos where we had playlists object with two arrays, Angular and React, which had similar data. Each item is an object with ID and title properties. In HTML, we used for loop to display the video titles. Carefully observe the code to render Angular playlist and React playlist. Do they look similar in structure? Yes, except the data, the template is exactly the same. This code can be reused, right? Tomorrow, if there is a new playlist on Python and on SQL, we can use the same code instead of creating it again and again. But how do we do that? We can do that by extracting this template into a separate component and use that component inside videos component. The new component will serve as a child component to videos component. To pass data from parent to child, we will use a decorator called @input. Let's see how we can implement this and how input decorator helps in parent to child communication. Let's create a component called videos. Make sure that you are in components folder, nggc video. This command would create a component with name video. So Angular CLI has created a HTML file and a TypeScript file, CSS and a test file which is called spec file. So if we let me just go back. Okay, now let's see how this component looks like. In the HTML it just says video works. Now what we wanted to achieve, we wanted to remove this reusable code and put it into a new component. So let me just cut it from here and put it in the video component. For now, I don't have this playlist.angular in the video component, so I'll remove this ng for now and remove the video title and name a static content here. Video title goes here. Let's save the changes. And now if we want to use this video component in videos component.html, we have to use this selector app-video and import this in videos HTML. Let me do the same for React as well. Let's build the application ng build, or you can do ng serve directly as well. Okay, the solution is built and let's launch our application ng serve. So let's browse this URL. We have the UI here. By default, Angular is selected, and instead of showing the videos, it is showing the data coming from video component. Video title goes here, and for React as well, it shows the same thing. But the styling is missing here because the styles Angular and video are present in videos component CSS. So let's take them out of here. In the video CSS, we have the classes video, Angular and React. Let me cut it from here and paste it in video component CSS. Now if we look at the UI, we see the styling here. But we don't want this static content here. We want to see the actual data. To do that, we need to pass data from the parent component, which is videos component, to the child component, which is video component. Let me close this terminal. Let's close the CSS files as well. So instead of this, I want to get the data from videos component to video component. So before looking at how we can send data from video component to this component, we'll see how we can receive data from other components to the video component. In order to receive data, we have a decorator called input. So just use @input. This will be imported from Angular core. After that, just put parenthesis and give a name to your input parameter. In my case, I'll give it as data. Then the data type, it can be any array of any object. We don't have any model created for our object, so that's why I'm using the type any for now. And the default value will be empty. Now we declared that video component is going to receive input with the name data. And what are we expecting from this data? We are expecting a data dot, okay, we will be looping to the array. So we'll use structural directive ng for equals let item of data, and here we'll display item dot title. And also we need the label as well. If it is Angular playlist, we want the label Angular. If it is a React playlist, we want the label React. So this should also come from the parent component or the component which is trying to import this component. So we need another input parameter here. So input followed by let's say label. This is of type string, set to empty string by default, and we'll use this label. So label. Now our video component is ready. We just have to send data from videos component. For Angular, what is our data? To this data, we need to bind our Angular items, right? So we'll simply say data using attribute binding. And what is our object? If we go to videos TypeScript file, it is playlists.angular. So playlists.angular. Similarly, we have playlist.react for React component. Then we have label equals, this is a string which is Angular, and here it's going to be React. Okay, what did we do? In the videos component, we declared two input parameters and made use of those input parameters in the template. In the videos component, we are passing the required input parameters to the app-video selector. Let's save the changes, go back to UI. There is an error. Single quote is missing here. Now, if we save the changes, we see the data for Angular. If I switch to React, we see the data for React. So what if we don't provide this data? Let me remove this attribute from here and go back to UI. We don't see anything here because the default value is empty. If you go to video component keys, if data input is not received, it will by default take empty array. The same with label as well. If I remove this, there won't be any label displayed. So let me just undo this. So we want this template to be displayed only if the data is available. If the data is an empty array, we should be printing a message saying videos not available or playlist not available. So let's do that. I'll create another div here and I'll use a structural directive ngIf, and I'll say if data and data dot length greater than 0. Only then I want this data to be displayed. Otherwise, we can use else case here and create ng template which says playlist not available or no videos available. No videos available. And what is the reference to this? Let's say no data or no videos. So in the else case, I'll give this reference so that when this condition fails, it goes to else case. So now if we go to HTML and remove this data, we see no videos available. If I click on React, since the data is available, we see the label and also the videos. If there is no data, no videos available. We can have aliases as well to these inputs. For example, if I want to expose this variable name as playlists to the components that are going to import this video component, I can do that by providing playlists here, so that instead of using data, the parent component should use playlists. So here I'll provide playlist. Now we still see the same data. So this is how you can define inputs to your child component and pass data from parent component to child component. I hope the concept is clear. If you like the content, please like, share and subscribe to InterviewPro. Thank you.